Your endoscope might look indestructible, but because of its complex design, it needs to be operated with care. And it's being handled by many team members, from doctors and nurses to technicians and engineers, which means everyone has a part to play in avoiding damage. In the next 3 minutes, we're going to tell you how to easily avoid one of the most common problems. Did you know that one of the most important parts of an endoscope is the distal end, and that's where almost half of the damage occurs? 85% of endoscope damage is a result of improper handling during use, transport and cleaning. So avoiding damage to this fragile part is important. It will save your team stress, minimize downtime, and keep the equipment working longer and more efficiently. Most breakages can actually be avoided by a simple change of behavior, and that's where you can help. Your endoscope is a valuable tool that helps to explore uncharted territory and discover the unknown. So it's really important that the adventures the scope goes on are as successful as possible. But things don't always go according to plan. In fact, there are a number of ways that the distal end can easily become damaged during everyday use. Most common damage occurs because of improper care during transportation and cleaning. In some cases, you can't see the damage, but it presents in error codes or disruption to the image. That's why it's important to pay attention to the distal end at all times when transporting or moving the scope around. One of the best ways to protect the distal end is using a distal end protector during routine transport and handling of your endoscope. Using a Protect distal end protector has been shown to reduce distal end damage by up to 66%. If you're not already using one, speak to us to find out more today. We also need to remember that distal ends lenses, just like any camera, are very fragile. Even a small scratch can have a big impact on the scope's optics and only become apparent when the procedure is in progress. Without clear images, the procedure may need to be rescheduled, which is inconvenient for everyone and means more discomfort for the patient. To avoid this problem, only clean the lens with a soft cloth and pay attention to the lens at all times during transportation, cleaning and whilst performing procedures. If someone hasn't been trained in how to use the scope, they won't understand the sensitivity of the distal end and the operation of the equipment. Even endoscopy experts who use the scope infrequently may need an occasional refresher. So make sure they watch this video before handing the equipment over. Your Olympus scope is waterproof. However, even tiny cracks on the distal end may result in fluid invasion, causing serious damage to the internal electronics. That's why it's important to inspect the distal end before every use to avoid damaging the equipment. If you think you see a crack, don't use it and perform a manual leak test to confirm, or you could end up with an expensive and time-consuming repair from a flooded scope. Endotherapy accessories such as needles, forceps or clips can easily scrape the opening of the distal end. Remember that procedures should never be rushed. Take your time and always use the accessories in the recommended way. When using a laser or an argon plasma coagulation (APC) device, it is essential that it isn't operated until clear of the distal end. Firing it too soon may damage channel and the electronics inside the endoscope. Make sure you keep this in mind and remind all operators about this when preparing to use a laser. By taking a little bit of care and doing the right thing at the right time, it's possible to make all the adventures your scope goes on a success. And if we can work together to reduce damage to the distal end, it will result in more efficient work, less schedule changes, smoother procedures and more successful diagnoses. So, how can you help? It's easy. Just remember to follow a few simple steps. 1. Avoid impact. 2. Avoid contact with hard surfaces. 3. Clean only with recommended accessories. 4. Be mindful during transportation. 5. Store properly and keep lens dry. 6. Use endotherapy accessories with care. 7. Inspect the distal end for visible breakage before use. Stay tuned for more adventures with Scopy, and don't forget to spread the word and share this video with your colleagues so that every adventure Scopy goes on is a success.